Hello everyone. So from now onwards I am going to upload the videos of Kaumara Bhritya topics, that is pediatric, for BMS students. To start with, in today's video I am dealing with the topic immunization. So the immunization concept was introduced to this world by a British scientist known as Edward Jenner in 18th century. 18th century, he was the person to introduce the concept of vaccination to the world. Okay, and he started the invention of vaccines with the invention of smallpox vaccine. Okay, so before going for the vaccination in detail, let me talk few words regarding immunity. Okay, so the immunity is the capacity of a multicellular organ to deal with or to resist a disease is called as immunity. Then to achieve some specific function in the body will be having some of the specialized cells to deal with that function. So where does this immunity lie in our body? So it is the function of two main cells in the body. One is the macrophages and second variety of cell is the lymphocytes. So these are the specific cells which are responsible for the immune system of our body. Okay, so what are macrophages exactly? Macrophages are the cells which resist the infection. Okay, so before this macrophages and lymphocytes, I want to make one more thing clear. There is something called as antigen and antibody. Antibody and antigen. Antigen are the organisms which on entry into body will cause the diseases. Antigen will generate the disease in the body. For example, like bacteria we have and viruses or parasites, anything, any organism which on entry into body will cause the disease. Those organisms are called as antigens. And once the disease enters the body produces some of the cells to fight against that disease. Those specified cells to fight against the disease are called as antibodies. Okay, so the whole system of immunity or the immunization is to produce the antibodies to fight against the antigens. Okay, so the immunity of the body depends on the two cells, which is macrophages and the, see, you try to remember these words because these two words are going to help us throughout the topic. Okay, so macrophages are the special cells which when any organism or the disease causing organism enters the body, these macrophages will try to resist the organism which causes disease, then they engulf the organism, then they destroy the organism. So the macrophages have got major role in destroying the antigen when they enter the body. Then lymphocytes, as you know, it's a type of white blood corpuscles. Okay, so in lymphocytes we have specially T lymphocyte and B lymphocytes. Okay, T lymphocytes, these also play a very important role in producing immunity in the body. So T lymphocytes are the cells or the lymphocytes which are dependent on the thymus, whereas B lymphocytes are the lymphocytes which are produced in the bone marrow. Both of these cells are responsible for the immunity. So totally macrophages and lymphocytes are the basic components of our body which are involved in the immunity. Okay, so now what are the types of immunity? Before going for the types of vaccinations, it is very much essential to know what are the types of immunity. I think in basic classes like in first year and second year, you people have gone through the what is exactly immunity or the types of immunity. It's a just reminder to those topics. Okay, so when we talk of immunity, it is categorized into two types. One is innate second one is acquired. So innate immunity is won by birth through the virtue of organs, cells or the tissues. What immunity a person gets is called as innate immunity, and acquired immunity is won in the lifespan throughout the lifespan, either by vaccination or by exposure to the disease, whatever may be the cause. In the lifespan, whatever immunity he is getting, it is called as acquired immunity. Once again, this acquired immunity is classified into two types: active immunity and passive immunity. Active immunity and the passive immunity. See, active immunity is one which is produced in response to some diseases. The active immunity, first variety is the immunity produced in response to, because see, in some of the diseases, when person suffers from some disease, for example like mumps, if a person suffers from once in his lifetime, he will never have mumps in the future life. Naturally, he is going to get immunity against the mumps in his life. Okay? And second variety of active immunization is through vaccination. In vaccination, through the vaccination we are giving antigens. I will talk to regarding that later. So with that vaccines, person is getting immunity against the diseases, which is also a type of active immunity. Next, coming to the passive immunity. So passive immunity, in passive immunity what happens? Person is given the preformed antibodies. That means here we are initiating the activity of generation of antibodies, but here in the passive immunity, the ready or preformed antigens are given to the person. Okay, so here this is also of two types. One, passed on from mother to child. Second variety is through the either for the artificially receiving the antigens, maybe through the injections or the immunoglobulin like suspensions. Okay, so this is immunity. Now I'll go for the main topic, vaccination. So when we say vaccination or immunization, usually you get two words parallelly, either immunization or vaccination. Then you must know what is exactly the difference between both the words. Okay, vaccination is the process where vaccines are given to the child to increase the immunity of the child towards the diseases, whereas immunization is what happens in the body after receiving the vaccination. So you can say immunization is the response of vaccination. Okay, but commonly used term is immunization. Okay, both are almost थोड़े से जो कहते हैं ना भाई भाई. So in that way we can take both the words, but vaccine का छोटा भाई जो है immunization, but it is the response what we are seeing in the body. So commonly used word is immunization. Okay, so what is exactly vaccine here? I will talk to regarding vaccine later. So here when it comes to the immunization is once again of two types. First one is active immunization. Second one is passive immunization. See here, I doesn't mean immunity, I am talking about immunization. Okay. What is active immunization? In active immunization, we are giving the immunity or the immunization is done through the vaccines, where the vaccines, the person is administered with the live, attenuated or killed viruses. I will tell you later what is that exactly. So here the live, attenuated or killed organisms are injected in the body. Live virus, attenuated, here the viruses or the disease causing or bacteria, virus, whatever may be, the disease causing organism is attenuated, that is made inactive. They are live but they are made inactive so that they should not cause disease into the body. They just mimic the disease, but by mimicking the disease, they pretend as if disease entry has taken place in the body, so that in response to that, the body will produce the antigens against that disease. So the live but made inactive organisms are called as attenuated. But some of the organisms, disease causing organisms, are killed and then injected in the body as vaccines. So the immunization done through the vaccines is called as active immunization. Then what is passive immunization? Here in passive immunization, the preformed antibodies, preformed antibodies are injected in the body. Here we are provoking the production of antibodies or generation of antibodies, but here already preformed antibodies are injected in the body, which is called as passive immunization. Now I will let you know what is exactly the difference between active immunization or giving a preformed antibody and provoking the antibody. Okay, so this is active immunization and this is passive immunization. Okay, try to have a clear cut differentiation between active immunization and the passive immunization. Okay, so in active immunization, what we are giving? Live or attenuated. Attenuated is made inactive. Live, attenuated or killed organisms. Here organism should be taken as antigens. Disease causing organisms are given to the patient but or child. So here what happens in passive immunity? The preformed antibodies are given. Preformed antibodies are given. So now the question arises, where to give active immunization and where to give passive immunization, where exactly both of them to be implemented. Here in active immunization, the effect is late effect. मतलब अब हम इम्यूनाइज कर रहे तो it takes time to produce the antibodies by the body. Okay, but here in the passive immunization there is immediate effect, because antibodies are readily given to the patient in the form of maybe injections or immunoglobulin or sera. Okay, so here that's why, because antibodies are already ready, so the effect is seen immediately. Then where to give this active immunization, passive? So as a routine protective measure, we are giving active immunization, that is vaccines. Then where to give immunoglobulins or the preformed antibodies? It is to treat a disease. That is, already person is suffering from some of the diseases. For example, we have tetanus. Okay, we have diphtheria, where the patient is given preformed antibody, that is diphtheria immunoglobulin, that's or the sera extract, tetanus serum. Okay, so even in the snake bite, anti-snake venom we are giving. All these are where the already preformed antibodies are injected, so that the effect is fast and person can fight against the disease. There we don't have time that giving the vaccination, body forming the antigens and fighting against the disease. We don't have time because already disease has manifested in the body, so we want ready antibodies. That's why there it comes, it is called as passive immunization. Okay, so let me give some of the examples. Here we have, as we routinely give in the BCG, DPT, OPV, all are comes under the active immunization, that is vaccination. Okay, but when it comes to the passive immunization, we are giving anti-snake venom, and even we give diphtheria, anti-diphtheria serum, or even in tetanus we are giving anti-tetanus serum. Okay, so this is the major difference between the active immunization and the passive immunization. Okay. So this is regarding the basic introduction to the vaccination. So when we say the topic immunization or the vaccination, suddenly what strikes to everybody's mind is the immunization schedule. सबके दिमाग में क्या होता है? इम्यूनाइजेशन बोलते ही दिमाग में क्या आता है? Immunization schedule. But you remember one thing, immunization schedule is just a part of immunization. We have lot of things to know regarding vaccination before we enter into the stage of vaccination. जब schedule को हम लोग implement करने जाते हैं, उससे पहले we need to know lots of things regarding the implementation of the schedule. Okay. So in immunization schedule, what we are giving? We are immunizing the child through vaccination. Okay. Then what are vaccines? What are vaccines? How do we define the vaccines? Vaccines are called as active immunizing agents. Vaccines are called as active vaccines are called as active immunization or immunizing agents. Even we can otherwise define immunization more appropriately. Vaccines, we can define vaccines as vaccines are the animal sera or definition, or vaccines are the animal sera. See here, animal generally refers to horse. Okay, horse sera. Vaccines are the animal, special generally the horse sera, which contain live, attenuated or killed organisms. Any of these three killed organisms. So such product or the preparation is called as vaccines. Okay. So before treating any condition or before dealing with any condition, we must know what are the contraindications. Before using any drug, we must know exactly what are the contraindications of drug. आप ड्रग का बेनिफिट भले ही जानते हो या ना जानते हो, बट यू मस्ट नो द contraindications of any drug or the vaccine very well. ठीक है. So see, unless you know the brighter side of any condition, you must know the darker side of the condition very well. आपको brighter side का थोड़ा कम knowledge हुआ तो ठीक है, but you must know very well the darker side of the aspect. So now, so what are the contraindications? Or there is nothing called contraindication, but there are some of the situations where the vaccine inoculation बोलते हो, giving vaccine, the process of giving vaccine. Some of the condition where vaccine inoculation should be either postponed or avoided. Okay. So what are the conditions where the special circumstances where vaccines should be contraindicated or giving the vaccine should be postponed? First and foremost, the condition, commonest condition is the fever. Whatever may be the type of fever, because we have lots of types of fever. Whatever may be the cause for the fever doesn't matter. If child is running with the high grade fever, then don't go for vaccination, because if depending on the underlying cause of the fever, child might be developing the antibodies in the body to fight against that disease, so it may have adverse reactions in the body. That's why, so in case of the high grade, child is running with the high grade fever, don't go for the vaccination. Second contraindication is the when child has manifested with the HIV symptoms. Child has manifested with the, see, I am not telling AIDS, keenly observe my words, I am not telling contraindicated in AIDS, I am telling contraindicated in HIV symptoms. That means when disease has manifested, why? Child may end up into reactions. because child will be immunocompressed child, because CD4 count will be very less, already immune system will be very weak in the child, so it may end up into reaction. Okay, next one is tuberculosis. Even in the tuberculosis, the vaccination should be avoided. Okay, next, severe malnutrition. In severe malnutrition, there also child will be immunocompromised child, that is immunity level will be very low, so one should not go for, see I am using the word severe here, severe mild to moderate malnutrition is okay to go for vaccination. Okay, but when child is having severe malnutrition, never go for the vaccination. Okay, then fifth one, if the child is preterm, then also one should not go for the vaccination, same immunity level will be not. Then the question arises, तो प्रीटर्म बच्चे में कभी भी इम्यूनाइजेशन नहीं देना है, नो, अनलेस इट अचीव्स द डिजायर्ड वेट, that is normal weight of a newborn child, minimum of 2.5 kgs. Once the child attains the normal weight of the weight to the age, then one should start with the immunization schedule with the 0 dose. Okay, so preterm is contraindicated, doesn't mean that lifelong preterm को vaccination नहीं देना है, it doesn't mean that. Then last one is any of the malignancies where child is immunocompromised condition. Immunocompromised condition जहाँ पे भी रहता है बच्चे में, there we must avoid the vaccination. And last one contraindication of the vaccination is where the child is on long term, see all these come under immunocompromised, that is long term steroids. Suppose child is suffering from nephrotic syndrome or any such diseases where child need to take the long term steroids, in such children also one should avoid the vaccination. And even when the child is on anti-malignant drugs, there also anti-malignant drugs, there also the vaccination should be avoided. So these are the 8 contraindications. Let me repeat: fever, child with HIV symptoms, and child having the tuberculosis, then the child with severe malnutrition, and child with immunocompromised conditions, or even the long term steroids, and child on the anti-malignant drugs. In all these conditions, the vaccination should be avoided or contraindicated, or even some of the conditions it should be postponed. Okay. Then it is very much important to know the injection technique, how to give the vaccines, injection technique of the vaccine. Injection techniques. See, earlier days we used to see the vaccination to the childs were given on the gluteal region, but now the latest studies have shown that the ideal site of giving vaccination for younger children is anterolateral part of mid thigh or even deltoid. So why they are insisting for the vaccination on these sites? जब पहले से जो ग्लूटियल रीजन में देते थे उसको अवॉइड करके यही रीजन में, why they are insisting to go for vaccination on these two areas of the body? So that is usually the presence of the embryonic what is that presence of embryonic cells in these two areas, especially the anterolateral part of the thigh, this anterolateral part of the mid thigh will contain embryonic cells which will have the good effect or good result of production of the antibodies. So usually जहाँ पे better result मिलता है वहीं पे हमको inoculate करना है. So because of the presence of embryonic cells in the mid thigh, the vaccination site is preferred as anterolateral part of the thigh. Okay, so then next one should know regarding the usually vaccines are what of the mode of injection, matlab what sort of injections we are preferring here. Some of the vaccines we are giving deep thigh or you can say even deep muzzle. Okay, some we are giving subcutaneous, some we are giving intradermal. In these three ways, even some of the vaccines are given orally. In these four routes, vaccines can be administered in a child. जैसे DPT all vaccines we have, it should be given deep muzzle, and even the measles like vaccine should be given subcutaneous, and even the BCG like BCG is given intradermally, and vaccine like rotavirus are given orally. So through these four routes, vaccines can be administered in a child. Next, vaccine safety. What all points we should keep in mind when we deal with any vaccine or vaccination? As usual, thoroughly washing the hands, wearing the gloves, then using the sterile and disposable syringes. Okay, then always discard the needle. Why? Because by mistake it should not be reused. So don't forget to discard the needle after single use. Then don't mix vaccines. Suppose today you are supposed to give 2 vaccines at a same visit, then never mix 2 vaccines in single vial. They should be given separately with a minimum of distance of 1 inch apart. तो अगर हम लोग 2 इम्यूनाइजेशन दे रहे हैं तो डिस्टेंस बिटवीन बोथ द prick should be minimum 1 inch apart, but never mix 2 vaccines in a single syringe. Each vaccine should be given with a different syringe and a different needle. Okay, then keep always, whenever you are actively involved in the immunization, it is very much important you must keep the emergency medicines like adrenaline like injections or the IVIL or antihistamines. Okay, so there are many a times we come across the anaphylactic shock where the child enters due to the vaccination. So before going for the vaccination you must keep ready the emergency medicines to manage either the anaphylaxis or some other reactions due to the vaccines. This is very important part of the practice of vaccination. Next, after vaccine safety, the question arises vaccine storage. Why we give much importance to the vaccine storage here? Because vaccines have organisms, disease causing organisms which are very sensitive. In attenuated vaccines we are making the organisms inactive, but when they are very sensitive to heat, when they are exposed to heat, those organisms attenuated, that is inactive, made inactive organisms become active. When they are injected, instead of provoking for the antibody production, they may cause the disease itself. It is something like instead of going for the immunity boosting, we are inducing the disease into the child. Okay, some of the vaccines are because heat sensitive, there should be a proper method of preservation. So there is something called as cold chain. This is very important in the immunization. One should maintain the cold chain. What is cold chain? जहाँ पे वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चर होता है वहाँ से लेके until it reaches the child. It needs to pass through lots of stages. For example, manufacturing unit, जहाँ पे फैक्ट्रीज जहाँ पे वैक्सीन्स बनते हैं, then it is handed over to the government, then to the regional and the provincial offices, then it reaches the district office, then it reaches the grassroots levels like PHCs and CHCs. From there it reaches to the health workers. See, from the point of manufacturing unit till it reaches the child, the vaccination has to pass through lots of stages where the temperature, maintaining the temperature of the vaccine is a very crucial point to be followed without fail. No compromise in maintaining the cold chain of the, so the temperature usually 2 degree to 8 degree temperature should be maintained when we carry the vaccines. You might have seen, जब भी पोलियो वर्कर्स आते हैं, they carry the vaccines in a thermocol box. उसमें क्या रहता है अंदर? आइस पैक्स रखते हैं. They never carry in a hand. Anytime have you seen any health worker carrying a polio vial in the open hands? No, never. Because it is very heat sensitive. Once it is exposed to heat, it may the attenuated viruses may become active. That's why the maintaining a cold chain with the temperature of minimum 2 to 8 degrees is very much important when we transport the vaccine from manufacturing unit to the child. Okay. So let me tell some of the vaccine sensitivity. There is something called as VVM, because polio vaccine is the one of the commonest vaccine recommended by our government, which is a part of making India polio free India. So there is something called as pulse polio program. So widely handled the vaccine in India is polio. See, when we see any vial of the polio vaccine, we have this box, specially concentrate over this box. We have two colors. Here we have one light color and here we have one, sorry, this is light color and inside we have dark color. That means when the, let me show this here, this is light, this is dark. This is normal status of the vaccine vial. Okay. When it is exposed to heat or when repeatedly the vial is being taken out for the inoculation of the or giving polio this thing, gradually what happens, this dark color fades away and turns into the similar color as a box outside. Then what happens when both the colors are same, it indicates the vaccine has lost its potency. Even though the lots of vaccine is there in the vial, it is very much necessary to discard the vial. Don't think, अरे अभी इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा doses है, we should not waste. No question of saving there. It is the question of the life of children. If that vaccine, this is called as vaccine vial monitor. If we notice any change in the vaccine vial monitor, immediately one must discard that vial and take a new vial to administer oral polio vaccines. And even polio vaccine, even BCG vaccine is very much sensitive to heat.